Here's your wrestling news for March 4th, 2026. Your headlines for today include major spoiler, title change planned for WWE SmackDown, truth behind Royce Key's WWE situation revealed, WWE seriously weighing major heel turn for former US champion, WWE creative called a jumbled mess heading into WrestleMania 42, ESPN unhappy with WWE's WrestleMania 42 watch party blackout rule, WWE reacts to heated Rhea Ripley vs. Jade Cargill social media clash, AEW Collision's future in doubt amid UFC cable move and Paramount merger talk, AEW Newcomer expected to receive major push in 2026, and more. We have some breaking news heading into WrestleMania 42, and it could mean a huge shift in the championship picture. This Friday on SmackDown, Drew McIntyre is set to defend the Undisputed WWE Championship against Cody Rhodes. The winner of that match is scheduled to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania 42 after Orton secured his title opportunity by winning the Elimination Chamber. However, a new report from PWInsider suggests WWE may already be preparing a major twist. According to the report, there is internal expectation that a title change could happen on SmackDown. One source noted that the possible change has nothing to do with dissatisfaction over McIntyre's reign. Instead, the company is reportedly focused on building Cody Rhodes vs. Randy Orton as the WrestleMania Championship match. Orton's Elimination Chamber victory was said to be the first step in that plan, setting up a surprise development on the road to WrestleMania and shifting the main event away from the more expected direction. If that plan stays in place, it would strongly suggest that Rhodes could walk out of SmackDown as the new undisputed WWE Champion. That leaves a big question mark over McIntyre's WrestleMania role. One option being discussed is adding him to the title match to create a triple threat. Another possibility could see him enter into a feud with Jacob Fatu. There's even a long shot scenario where an angle leads to McIntyre facing SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis, who is yet to wrestle an official match in WWE, and then there's a fatal four-way. For now, everything hinges on what happens this Friday night. Do you think WWE should pull the trigger on a title change before WrestleMania, or should Drew McIntyre carry the championship into the biggest show of the year? Let us know your thoughts. After social media erupted with claims that WrestleVotes reported WWE had no plans for Royce Keys, a clarification has now emerged, and it changes the context significantly. The original comment came from a WrestleVotes live Q&A, but the way it spread online wasn't fully accurate. Some websites and social media posts summarized it incorrectly, which made the situation sound worse than it actually was. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We had speculated for months that SmackDown was the place for him. It certainly does seem like that's going to be his home. He was backstage Friday night. Don't know when he's showing up on TV. Hopefully they have an idea. Hopefully this is part of the plan. The critical distinction is that WrestleVotes did not state that WWE has no plans for Keys. Instead, they indicated that they personally had no update on what those plans currently are. The difference matters. According to Fightful, additional follow-up revealed that WWE has already filmed material involving Keys. However, no details were provided about the nature of that footage. It's unclear whether it's meant for a vignette, a character reintroduction, or part of a larger storyline setup. There's also no confirmed timeline for when he might return to television. Meanwhile, WWE has continued keeping Keys visible through promotion of his appearance on Stephanie McMahon's What's Your Story series. That continued visibility suggests the company hasn't simply moved on from him. For now, the situation may be less about creative abandonment and more about timing, especially during the chaotic WrestleMania build. The real question is whether WWE is quietly preparing something bigger for Royce Keys, or if he's still waiting for the right opening on the SmackDown roster. Enjoying the video? A quick like goes a long way in helping us grow and deliver more wrestling news you care about. We recently reported that Trick Williams' heel positioning is already being reconsidered due to the overwhelming reaction he's receiving from live crowds. Now a new update suggests WWE could take things a step further with a major character shift. Speaking during a Self-Made Session podcast, Self-Made Pro revealed that internal discussions aren't limited to simply turning Trick babyface. Instead, WWE is reportedly exploring a double turn scenario that would also see Sami Zayn move to the heel side. Zayn has been one of the company's most dependable babyfaces in recent years, making such a move a significant change, especially this close to WrestleMania season. However, the groundwork may already be there. His recent confrontations with Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu have shown a more aggressive edge, something that could easily transition into a full heel turn. With creative plans already shifting due to injuries and evolving WrestleMania matchups, a double turn could immediately reshape the trajectory of both stars. For Trick Williams, it would formalize the connection he already has with the audience. For Sami Zayn, it would mark the start of a completely new chapter in his WWE career. If WWE decides to pull the trigger, this wouldn't just be about finding the right role for Trick, it would redefine Sami Zayn's place on the roster heading into WrestleMania 42. A new report suggests WWE's creative room may be experiencing more internal friction than fans realize. Speaking during a Self-Made session, Self-Made Pro claimed he was told that the collaborative environment which once defined WWE's current creative era is starting to create tension behind the scenes. In the early days after Triple H took over creative direction, meetings reportedly thrived on different viewpoints. Writers would present ideas, Triple H would weigh the options, and the final direction would emerge from a mix of perspectives. According to the report, that dynamic has recently become more complicated. Instead of collaboration strengthening the product, the creative room is said to be increasingly divided, with multiple competing visions about what WWE programming should look like right now. The core issue appears to be a lack of one clear guiding direction. Here's something I was told. There are so many disagreements and different perspectives, and at times, there's tension in the creative meetings. That's how it was described to me. There's a lack of a unifying vision about what the product should be right now. A lot of people have differing perspectives. One major point of debate reportedly centers on how much attention should be paid to online discourse and hardcore fans. There are people in the WWE creative room who really push back on the idea that they need to capitulate to the desires of the online fandom. You get that anti-Meltzer sentiment in the room. Then there are others who argue that, beyond dismissing it as Twitter, this is what the hardcore fan base wants. That divide reportedly shows up even in basic storytelling decisions. Some writers push for consistent follow-ups and long-term continuity, while others reportedly feel the online reaction shouldn't dictate how the show is written. For example, someone might say, hey, we should follow up on this storyline we set up. If we don't, people are going to point it out. The online crowd will call it out, and then others respond, who cares about that? But you can dismiss it as hardcore fans all you want. Every version of your audience deserves cohesive storytelling. The bottom line is this, nobody agrees on anything anymore. It's a mess, a jumbled mess of different opinions and perspectives, and it's not coming together the way it did 2 or 3 years ago. Creative disagreement isn't unusual in wrestling, especially during the build toward WrestleMania when the stakes and pressure are at their highest. Still, if these claims are accurate, it suggests the world's largest wrestling company may be navigating more internal debate than viewers see on screen. Do you think that creative tension is starting to show in WWE programming, or is this simply the normal push and pull that comes with producing a weekly live show? WWE's WrestleMania 42 watch party blackout policy in Las Vegas is already drawing criticism from local businesses, and now even ESPN is reportedly questioning the decision. According to sports business journalist Blake Avignon, a source at ESPN indicated that some within the network's management are concerned about TKO Group Holdings preventing nearby venues from hosting WrestleMania watch parties. The source suggested the policy may actually hurt the event's momentum rather than help build it. The reasoning centers on the idea that major live events thrive on FOMO, the fear of missing out. According to the source, TKO Group's reported restriction on nearby venue watch party broadcasts was characterized by one source as a self-inflicted deterrent. The source argued the policy undercuts the very FOMO effect live events thrive on. If price-sensitive fans opted to watch Night 1 locally and the show delivered, the thinking goes, organic buzz and fear of missing out could have driven incremental ticket sales for Night 2. Instead, limiting nearby broadcasts may suppress that spillover demand. In other words, instead of creating a citywide celebration that feeds into the stadium atmosphere, the blackout could limit the natural hype cycle that major events like WrestleMania 42 rely on. That same source also suggested there may be a broader disconnect between WWE leadership and the average fan. The same person also pointed to the rising cost of WWE fandom and what they described as Mark Shapiro's growing disconnect from the everyday WWE consumer. Avignon also reported that not everyone inside ESPN believes the WWE integration has been smooth. According to Avignon, there is internal talk that the transition into ESPN's ecosystem hasn't been seamless. Sources: inside ESPN, there's chatter that WWE's transition into the network's ecosystem hasn't been seamless. One person described it as a DNA mismatch, adding that WWE leadership has yet to make a unified push to correct the shortcomings. For now, WWE has not indicated any plans to change the policy, but with frustration already coming from local venues and now reported criticism from ESPN circles, the debate over whether the blackout helps or hurts WrestleMania's overall impact is likely to continue. The online war of words between Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill has now received a backstage clarification, and it appears the situation may not be as serious as some fans believed. After the two exchanged several heated messages on social media ahead of their WrestleMania clash, many within WWE reportedly assumed the back and forth began as a playful storyline extension. However, the tone of the exchange reportedly changed when Cargill made a comment referencing Ripley spending long periods speaking with WWE creative. According to Fightful Select, that specific reference caught attention internally. One creative source reportedly explained that bringing up creative publicly is something the company generally avoids. We would never include a mention of creative as part of that, it undermines the point. Even so, while some talent were reportedly confused by that line being used during the exchange, WWE management was said to be very happy with the reaction the feud generated online. The possibility that Ripley and Cargill might genuinely dislike each other created a significant level of engagement among fans. The report also noted that this isn't the first time Cargill has been a part of backstage discussion. Earlier this year, several wrestlers, including Tiffany Stratton, Michin, and B-Fab, missed time following matches with the women's champion. That led to speculation about potential locker room heat, which was reported by outlets such as PWInsider and Fightful. However, management reportedly had no issue with Cargill regarding those situations. Despite all the rumors and locker room chatter, the key takeaway is that WWE appears satisfied with the attention the rivalry has created. Fightful also noted that even though the tone of the online exchange shifted at times, there is no internal concern about Ripley and Cargill working together at WrestleMania. So the question is, does real tension, or even the illusion of it, make a wrestling feud more compelling? Let us know your thoughts. AEW's television future could be facing an unexpected shakeup following discussions about a potential merger between Paramount and Warner Bros. Discovery. The deal would reportedly combine Pluto, Paramount Plus, HBO Max, BET Plus, and Discovery Plus into a single streaming platform that could reach nearly 200 million subscribers worldwide. On the surface, that kind of reach could benefit companies like AEW by expanding distribution and exposure. However, concerns emerged during a recent discussion on Wrestling Observer Radio. Dave Meltzer pointed out that while executives repeatedly referenced UFC as a major sports property during merger discussions, AEW was never mentioned in the same context. According to Meltzer, AEW is internally categorized more as entertainment rather than sports, which could affect how it's prioritized in future programming decisions. Another key detail raised eyebrows. Executives reportedly floated the idea of bringing UFC back to cable television, specifically mentioning TNT and Saturday nights. That immediately raises questions because AEW Collision currently occupies that exact time slot. If UFC programming were placed on TNT Saturdays, executives could favor the promotion with a proven mainstream sports audience. In a worst-case scenario, Collision could be moved to another night or potentially removed altogether if rating comparisons favor UFC. With mergers often leading to programming reshuffles and cost-cutting, AEW Collision may suddenly find itself fighting for its spot on the schedule. Kevin Knight's momentum in All Elite Wrestling continues to grow, and a new report suggests the company may have even bigger plans for him. Fans have already seen Knight gain traction on television. He captured the AEW Trios titles alongside Hangman Page and Mike Bailey, and now he's stepping into a huge opportunity with a challenge for the AEW World Championship against MJF. But according to Self-Made Pro on a Self-Made Session podcast, Knight's rise isn't just a storyline push, there's real confidence in him behind the scenes. I'll tell you this, folks, AEW believes in him. They believe in him as a prospect. A lot of the main event guys like him because the word about Kevin Knight from wrestlers, and I've heard this from numerous people, is that he has a great attitude. With a world title match against MJF approaching and strong support internally, Knight could be on the verge of a major breakout year. Don't miss our next video coming at 5:30 p.m. Eastern with all the latest wrestling updates. Smash that bell icon and select all notifications so you're always in the loop.